Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. In this video, I want us to listen to some remarks from KILIFI. For the remarks are going to inform the basis of our analysis and a discussion in this video, in which I'll explain why I believe that as Azimio goes for William Ruto, it should also go for elected leaders supporting William Ruto, and more so in Azimio strongholds. Listen to this before we proceed.
Mbunge wetu Bwana Ken Chonga, karibu.
Yes. I suppose that's an Azimio MCA in Kilifi, and is talking very boldly and very bravely and making it very clear that Kilifi, and to a larger extent the coast region, is still firmly behind Raila Odinga, and is also exposing that some Azimio elected leaders are afraid of saying the truth because they fear the government. And that's actually true, and it can explain why a good majority of Azimio elected leaders have either gone silent or they have joined the government side. But even before we discuss that, let me start by saying this. It's a fact. The voting patterns have not changed much. In fact, even if an election was to be done today, Kenyans will still see more or less the same voting patterns we saw in 2022, 2017, and 2013. The voting patterns have not changed much. And even if maybe we'll go to another election, it will still be the same. It's a fact again that Raila Odinga and Azimio enjoys majority support in 6 provinces out of 8 provinces. And even if an election was to be done today, it will come out that way. So it's also true that William Ruto enjoys majority support in his Kalenjin backyard and on the mountain. And that's a fact. And I'm trying to bring that for you to see clearly that Raila and the Azimio team enjoys goodwill from a majority Kenyans. So the big question is, how can Azimio make good use of this goodwill they are enjoying across the country? Because honestly, I believe that Azimio has to just change strategy a bit. And I'm sure they will fix William Ruto to a corner he will not be able to come out of. And that's what I want to expose in this video. If you look at William Ruto, already he has realized that he is losing the ground support. And that's why he's very desperate, trying to lure Azimio leaders to join him. These Azimio leaders will be doing his bargain on the ground. He has already lost. Ruto himself knows he's losing that support from the ground, going on how his government is handling issues affecting the so-called hustlers. So he's looking for these Azimio leaders in Azimio strongholds to do the bargain for him on the ground. That's William Ruto's strategy. And these leaders, when they're on the ground, they try to project an image of leaders who joined the government. And I'm talking of Azimio elected leaders who joined William Ruto. When they are on the ground, they are telling the ground that they joined the government for development. That's their rallying call, or rather their campaign tool on the ground. The truth of the matter, these are leaders who joined the government. And I'm saying this with a lot of confidence, having interacted and still interacting with most of these leaders on a daily basis. Their main aim and agenda and intention of joining the government is for their own selfish personal gains. Some want to be rich by 2027. It's got nothing completely to do with the people. If it was about the people, before these elected leaders decided to join William Ruto and his team, they ought to be seeking the permission from the people. A good example are some of these leaders we are seeing, for example, in Luo Nyanza, or for example, Jalango. These are leaders representing areas that are pro-Azimio. And I'm very sure that if the elected leaders who joined William Ruto, if they were to ask the people whether to work with the government or not, the people could have told them not to work with the government, because a good majority of their constituents believes Ruto's government is illegitimate, a government that actually rigged the election. And the people in their areas believe that the government is the one that has brought them the sufferings they are currently going through. So these leaders are working with Ruto not because of development or because of the benefit of the people, but for their own selfish and personal gains. And actually, that development they're talking about, they are just helping the government to oppress the people. The same people they are saying they want to bring development to. And when I talk about oppressing the people, as I talk right now, Finance Bill 2023 by this government is proposing additional taxes on Kenyans. Everything is going to be literally taxed. And, and the end result of that is that life is going to be more difficult for Kenyans. And the people who are helping Ruto in making sure he increased taxes on poor Kenyans are the so-called leaders joining him, saying they are joining him for development. To cut the long story short, as Azimio targets William Ruto and his government, they should not also forget to target these Azimio leaders, more so in Azimio strongholds, betraying the cause in order to work with the government to betray the people. In fact, Azimio should now make it maybe one of their campaign strategies to focus on some of these betrayers, because they are the ones helping the government to oppress the people. Let Azimio make it very clear to the ground that William Ruto is not working alone. In fact, William Ruto as an individual can do nothing. It's these leaders surrounding him, these so-called elected leaders, these ones saying they are joining him for development. These are the ones who are actually making it a reality, making it possible for Ruto to oppress the so-called hustlers. The same ones. When you see William Ruto appointing corrupt individuals in his government, those appointments are being ratified, approved, by these same elected leaders. As Kenyans are crying for the high cost of living, these same elected leaders are the ones making that life very hard, for they are supporting William Ruto's bills in parliament and William Ruto's policies in parliament. So in fact, as Ruto is targeted, these leaders should equally be targeted. Let's meet in our next analysis, ladies and gentlemen. In case you have not subscribed or you want to support us here, subscribe. I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.